Hello, 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 my beloved souls. It's Divine Masculine Mondays. I hope everyone had a great weekend. If you're here in the States and you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a Thanksgiving. Holidays can be very triggering, right? So you either have family and love them, or you have family and you hate them, or you don't have family at all and you're kind of missing people. Like there's just so many emotions that go around. Reminders of our wins, reminders of our losses, people that love to trigger us and kind of put us in a box from the person that we used to be, not realizing that we're over here timeline jumping and freaking evolving, ascending, growing, expanding, and we're not the same person that that they remember, right? The version of ourselves that made them feel comfortable enough to like cross lines and to ignore our boundaries, right? Now we're like here standing in our power. We got boundaries. We have expectations, right? We have requirements, right? And we're standing in our power, and it's a really beautiful time. So, shout out to you for traversing these energies either way it goes. Don't forget to always call your power back to yourself and your energy back to yourself every single day, every single night, right? I call my power and energy back to me from all people, places, things, across all timelines, across all galaxies, realms, and dimensions, right? In every direction of time and space. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Every day I call my power back to me. Every day I call all my energy back to me. Super important that I have all of me together, right? At all times, right? And when we're interacting with people, we can give our energies away, especially when you're out during the holiday season traveling or shopping, right? There's a lot of energies going through the realm. So just be mindful, especially if you're, super empathic like I am, super sensitive. So, anyway, Divine Masculines, it's the last week of September. September. Why am I saying September? We're in November. That was a very odd thing, but there's no mistakes in tarot. So I don't know who was thinking about September, or maybe you're a Virgo or Libra, or maybe the energies are feeling the same to you as it did during that time. It's very interesting. Anyway, it's the last week of November. We're moving into December, right? And so, powerful time. December is a 9 month, right? And nines are about endings and closures. All endings lead what? To new beginnings. And so, because December is a universal 9 month, right? We start off the month December 1st with that 10 energy, right? Because we add the 1 to it. So 10 is about new beginnings, doors opening, spiritual awakenings, right? Activation. So it's like closing one chapter, beginning another, closing one door, opening the next. Like we're like boom, 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 boom. Really beautiful time. Really beautiful time. I see a lot of abundance and blessings and miraculous shifts really occurring for the collective for the month of December, right? It really doesn't even matter what your natal chart looks like. Like this is a really blessed time, and I feel like a lot of that is because Jupiter, I want to say, has gone direct. Right? Is it Jupiter or Uranus? I feel like Jupiter. I feel like Jupiter's just gone direct, and that's really just going to help amplify the blessings and the miracles and the just deliciousness of this time of year, right? So, although giving is always better than receiving, I feel like you're going to be giving a lot, people are going to be receiving a lot, you're going to be receiving a lot. Like, it's just going to be so fun, so cyclical. You're going to see a lot of transformations in terms of your finances, in terms of your relationships. Like, things are really just going to grow exponentially for you during this time, or at least be the catalyst for that for you for the next coming year, which is going to be a 7 year, right? A 2023. So really powerful time for my masculines. Um, and I just want to see what this means for you, right? What does the end of November and beginning of December have for the Divine Masculine Collective? What do they need to know? What do they need to see? Where are they at in everything? So thank you, angels. Thank you, guides, for these beautiful messages. Okay. What do the Divine Masculines need to know? What do I need to see as we're ending? Wow, you got three big cards jumping out at one time. Wow. Elephant, coyote, and butterfly like flew out. That's funny. Oh, we got the wolf with guardian. You are safe and protected at all times, right? So just be mindful of that, right? You're never alone in this world, right? Maybe you are standing right now like a lone wolf, just doing your thing separate from your pack, right? Like not following the guidelines, the restrictions, the requirements of your family, but literally standing on your own, right? And maybe you feel a little isolated, right? But a wolf is good within a pack, but a wolf is also great by itself, right? So you're the alpha in your life, and you're being reminded that you're safeguarded and protected at all times, right? Even if you think that you're out here by yourself, guess what? You got angels, ancestors, the Most High God, always here pouring into you, covering you in grace at every given moment of every given day, right? So whenever you feel a little discouraged, a little scared, a little afraid, call upon the angels, call upon your ancestors. Archangel Michael is great for helping to support us with courage and strength, right? And really staying on our power. Call upon your wolf spirit, right? That animal spirit to feel that courage of being able to go out here and do things all by your lonesome, but knowing that if you need to call in your team, all you gotta do is let out a howl, and boom, they're right there with you. Angels, ancestors, your beautiful earth, your soul family showing up, right, in the earthly realm. Really great time. So we got, okay, a possum with strategy, have a backup plan. Beautiful. So they love to say, right, if you want to make God laugh, like make a plan, right? But this isn't about changing your goal or your desire. This means not holding on so rigidly to how you think it's going to work itself out, right? Maybe you have it written down and you have step one, step two, step three, step four, step five, right? And the universe is like, cool, one, we're going over to C now. All right, now you did 1C, cool. Well, like, let's jump over here to like 3D. And then you're going to do 1A, and you might just be all over the place, like, what? But every single place you go and every single thing you do and interact with or are experiencing during this time is getting you more and more prepared and leading you to your happily ever after, right? And so just be mindful of that, right? Like, yes, it's great to put a strategy into place, but also know that sometimes along the way you might have to course correct, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Pelican, forgiveness, let go of your judgments. Whew, hard one, right? During the holiday season because you're being judged, right, by some people, or some people you're holding them in that same space, right? You're holding on to old versions of that person, and they're not the same person anymore, right? They've transformed just like you have transformed during this time, right? And so forgiveness isn't giving anybody a pass or saying that the things that you experienced were okay or that they were cool, because they weren't, right? Especially with the hurts and the pains and the traumas and betrayals and all the shit, the list that we can go through, right? Abandonment, whatever it was. But this is about letting it go and moving forward, right? Because we don't want to swallow a vial of poison and think that we're hurting somebody else. We're not. We're only hurting ourselves, and that's what this is when we're not using the energy of forgiveness, right? It's like we're poisoning ourselves, and so you want to just let it go, right? Like understand that there's just apologies that you will never receive. Just like that, I'm sure there's apologies that you won't be making, right? Like a lot more people would rather ignore you than like apologize or have a conversation or just like admit that like maybe they saw things differently or they were wrong or they hurt you intentionally. You'd be surprised how many people are actually out here intentionally hurting people and they just don't give a fuck, right? And having to forgive that energy, even when you know for a fact that they're not sorry. You know for a fact that they don't give a fuck. You know for a fact if they had the opportunity to do it again that they would. So why would you forgive them, right? Knowing what you know, why would you forgive them? Be for yourself. Let it go. Move on. Learn the lesson, set some boundaries, and keep it moving. Don't let this energy hold you back because it's holding you back. It's blocking your blessings, right? When we are holding on to this bitterness, this anger, this angst, this frustration, this whatever you want to name it, we're blocking our own blessings. No, it's time to be like, you know what? It's cool. You did me dirty. Thanks for the lesson. Appreciate it, right? I'm going to tuck that one into my pocket to make sure I don't make that same mistake again. And now I'm going to move forward, right? With grace, with ease, with flow, knowing, you know what, like what we get is what we give, right? And so thank you for teaching me that lesson. Obviously, there's somewhere in me that I needed to learn it, but also you're going to be receiving that energy right back to you. So I don't need to be worried about it. I don't need to be all bitter and angry, and I don't need to sit here and be spiteful and condescending and judgmental and critical. No, I know that God got me. I know the universe got me. I know the source has me, right? Whatever you put out, you're going to receive back. Judgment, criticism, low vibrations, high vibrations, good, bad, or indifferent. The universe is very benevolent that way, and it's just what you put out is what you get back, right? And so, if you feel a need to be vindicated by this situation and you want to sit there and watch this person suffer, you're calling that energy back to yourself, right? I never wish harm upon anyone, and I've had people do horrific and disgusting things to me, to my loved ones, to my friend, my tribe of friends, whatever it was, like just really horrific and disgusting things. And even now, I still don't wish ill upon them. I don't wish death upon them because I already know if you did all of that, you're gonna get it all back. And I want no parts of that energy. I don't want to be near it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to touch it. Most of the time, I don't even want to see it because it doesn't make me feel good to see somebody suffering. That doesn't make me feel good. I'm not like, yeah, they got what they deserve. No, like I'm sorry that they had to go through that because I already went through it and I know what it feels like, and it was awful. And now I'm watching them play it back. Except this time it's gonna be worse because what you put out there, you get back times three. Think about that, right? What you put out there, you get back times three. So do you really want to see someone suffering and like do you really want to put that curse out there? No, you want to hold on to that energy of forgiveness. You want to let it go. You want to move on. You want to take your power and your energy back. Step on the high road, even when it's challenging sometimes, right? Because the ego wants to drop down and get in the rain, right? No, we're going to take the high road. We're going to walk away. We're going to stand in our power. We're going to let that energy fall to the wayside. We would have learned some amazing lessons. So now when we're on this next timeline, right, when we've upgraded, when we've stepped into like the newest version of ourselves, right, we have integrity, we have power, we have strength, we have valuable lessons that we've learned along the way, and we're gonna see red flags. We're gonna catch the lessons a lot sooner, right? We're gonna nip shit in the bud right at the beginning because we're not gonna replay this scenario, right? And then we've learned growth, and then we've learned expansion, then we learned that we've evolved, and now it's on to the next thing, right? The next greater thing. So really use this energy to empower you at this time. Butterfly transformation. Get ready for a big breakthrough. Like I said, I feel a lot of blessings and abundance and just like amplified manifestations coming in for the collective, strongly for the month of December, especially. So allow yourself to expand and to make this next step, right? To be bold, to do something else, to be courageous, right? And watch how that leads you to your happily ever after, right? Like some of you are going to be just coming into a lot of blessings, whatever that means. Maybe you're getting a promotion, maybe like um you're trying to buy a home and like you were able to get it when there was like a freaking waiting list. Like however it's gonna look out to you, I just see a lot of blessings coming through, and a lot of that is because you've been doing the deep inner work, because you've been taking the high road, because you've been taking a step back and seeing the big picture. Especially you, divine masculines, where we kept getting the koala energy, right? You've been listening more instead of talking so much. You've been tapping into your divine feminine energy, right, and listening to your intuition, and it's been really guiding you and transforming you as you've been healing and growing. It's been a really powerful time. I'm so proud of you guys. Coyote, wise fool, accept your follies and find the teaching in them. That's like those past hurts, right? That we have the energy of forgiveness for. Like, find the teaching in them. What was the lesson there? And 9 times out of 10, the lesson is going to be some shit you just shouldn't do if you're ever in that position. I know I worked in hospitality for over 20 years. And a lot of the things that I learned is what not to do when I'm in that situation, what not to do when I'm dealing with this person, what not to do when I'm like having a conversation, what not to do if I'm ever in that position, right? And so over 20 years, I've worked with so many beautiful people, right? Um, a lot of different owners. Some were awesome, some were pieces of shit. A lot of different managers. Some were great. A lot more than a lot were very lazy, right? And others were toxic and abusive and power hungry, right? And you saw those people spiral down, right? Especially hospitality. Think about it. Like, it's your job to kind of be nice to people. So if you're treating all of your staff like shit, at some point you're going to be shifted out, right? Because you're either going to lose staff or you're going to lose freaking customers because the staff is going to be taking it out on the customers. Either way, that energy can't last too long, right? So you do the right thing. You have to make better decisions. And a lot of those lessons were, Autumn, don't do that when you're in that situation. Don't talk to the person like that when you're in a situation. Huh, maybe they didn't see it from this perspective, right? And just having to look at things a little bit differently. So understand that the things that you're learning, and you're gonna fall and fuck up along the way. Like I made a ton of mistakes along my way through my journey of learning. You know what I mean? A lot of those learning was just me having to be in those situations and being in the fires and being like, huh, this is one way to put this fire out. All right, here's another way to put this fire out. Okay, now I gotta put the fire out while I'm spinning two plates on my head, right? Like just a lot of things. And fucked up, made mistakes, got reprimanded, whatever, and then moved on and learned and did it better the next time, right? And so that's all of you here, right? You're gonna just do it better the next time. You fall, fantastic. Get up, wipe yourself off, try it again. You make a mistake, cool. Learn from it. Don't do it again. Right? It's a part of life. You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving. At some point you're gonna fuck shit up. And that's amazing. All right. And then we have the elephant energy with resolve. You will overcome any obstacles. You guys are really on your way to some big, big, big changes. So let's say it again. Don't allow whatever this is that you're holding on to that you need to forgive and to move past. Don't allow that to block your blessings. Because you have such an auspicious month coming for you as we move into December, right? Like why let somebody or something that has already caused you pain, trauma, whatever in your past, right? Why even let that shit go another day further? Like, no, you did enough, then it's quiet, right? It's conversation over, it's time to move on. Why? Because you have all these other beautiful things in front of you, right? So, yeah, you're overcoming those challenges. Yeah, you're learning to forgive. Yeah, you're taking the high road, right? Because it's leading to your happily ever after. This is about nobody but you. Nobody but you. All right, the archangels also wanted to come through this week. Archangel Azrael, it's time to let go, prepare for change. It's time to let go. Let that shit go. Archangel Azrael is the angel that helps us when we have loved ones that have crossed over, right? And Archangel Azrael will come comfort the family that is grieving, the family and the friends that are grieving, and also helps your departed to get to the next side, right? And so this is a dual message here, right? One, it's time to let go. It's time to let go of that hurt. Like it's time to bury it. Whatever this is, right? Whatever this is that you haven't forgiven yet, it's time to finally let it go, right? And to prepare for the changes in your life. Like who are you when you're not holding on to that story? Who are you when you're not suffering and crying and victimizing yourself, over and over and over again for this old energy? Who are you? Right? Prepare for the change for that transformation to come forth, right? We just had that with the butterfly energy. But this is also a message for those of you that may have lost, some loved ones during this time. Um, I know this time of year, a lot of souls cross over. A lot of souls are born during this time of year, and a lot of souls cross back over to the other end of the realm. So this is just Archangel Azrael letting you know that your departed ones are loved, they're cared for, they're safe, right? They're guarded. And it's okay to let that go, right? Because in spiritual truth, energy doesn't die, it just gets transformed, right? And so they may not be here with you in a physical sense in which you can like touch them or hear their voice, but they're here with you in a spiritual sense, saying that you have access to them now 24/7 with no interruptions, right? Excuse me. So it's like someone who used to be your next door neighbor, right? You guys grew up like me, like in New York, you guys grew up together. Next door neighbors, boom, 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 and then somebody moves to California, right? I didn't lose that person. They may have just moved far away, but the connection is the same. The love is the same. The friendship is the same. We may not have as much time together now as we did before, but it doesn't mean that we stop loving or caring about each other just because we, change zip codes or whatever like that. It's that same type of energy, right? They might be in a different realm, but there's still a connection. It's just about you figuring out a way you want to connect to them. What's easiest for you, right? Do you want to light a candle? Do you want to just go into meditation? Do you want to build like a little altar with pictures and stuff and just have moments with them? Like, however that resonates with you, that's what you need to do at this time to stay connected. All right. Archangel Metatron, increase your light levels, open your stellar gateway chakra. All right, so more wisdom, knowledge, understanding is also going to be blessed unto you during this time, which is beautiful. Archangel Metatron is in charge of our Akashic Records, right? The Book of Life. Archangel Metatron used to be a human and then was transformed into an angel. I want to say he was like the prophet Ezekiel. I could be wrong about that, but he was a prophet that ascended and then became an angel and has been recording, is now in charge of our life records. And this is a great energy to work with if you're tapping into the higher wisdom, knowledge, understanding. If you want to go into your Akashic records and start clearing out different parts of your Akash that maybe caused you to be a vibrational match for some of these more challenging life lessons, right? Like we come in with a soul story, we come in with things that we want to learn, that we want to shift, that we want to grow. And you can go into your Akashic records and be like, okay, when did I agree to experience, right? Like poverty. Fantastic. Okay, I think I learned my lesson. Cool. Can we go back, change that out the story? And I want to shift now to like a life of prosperity, right? Or why is it that, you know, at a certain age, like certain people in my family will always seem to pass away, right? Like, why is it that like, um, the, the women on my mom's side of the family always have like miscarriages, and like if they do have a baby, like there's some type of trauma or the mom almost dies. Like why is like what's that story, right? Or why is it or like on my dad's side of the family, it seems like everyone went to the military and was a gambler. Like where did that start, right? And you can look into the Akasha records and kind of figure out where that started on your timeline and then clean it up. So knowledge, wisdom, and understanding coming through, accessing your Akashic records during this time, shifting and transforming your story, right, in the web of your life, all happening throughout the month of December. Again, a lot of abundance, blessings, miracles coming in for you. Be open to the wisdom and the knowledge that you're receiving during this time. Like if you're being guided to go deeper into your study, if you're being guided to expand your business, if you're being guided to speak to certain people, like follow through with it because you're really being, it's a huge divine connection that you have coming through now. It's about to really, really increase. And I feel like that energy in like my crown chakra really being activated at this time. So pay attention to your dreams, the signs, the synchronicities, divine masculines. They're all happening for a reason for you, right? This is a really big transformative time for you. December is going to be really powerful for you. All right, Archangel Muriel, trust your own wisdom. Have faith in your psychic impressions. What did I just say? You can't even make this shit up because you guys saw me shuffle on camera. You can't make this up, right? Trust in your psychic ability. What is that? Your divine feminine energy is your intuitive self, right? Like I said, Archangel Metatron, you're going to be getting a lot more downloads, and insight as to what's going on in the higher realms and how that is here to help lead you right to your highest and greatest good, to a deeper version of yourself. So follow through with that. You know what I mean? Like you know what you know, what you know, what you know. You don't have to prove it to anybody. You don't have to like stand here with like all this freaking research. Again, I know it's the holiday season. People can be a little triggered when I talk about my work. People always have some shit to say, right? I'm a life, sex, and spirituality coach. People have a lot to say, right? I do online psychic phone calls with people. I do spiritual calls. I do Zoom readings. Like I do all this stuff in the spiritual realm, but because I'm not in a quote unquote church and I'm not like someone's like deacon or pastor in that sense, right? In which I am a pastor, but I just don't work in a freaking church. People always have something to say, and I think it's freaking hilarious, right? Like now, I just like I wait for the comments because I'm like, oh, let me see how they're gonna like try to make me the devil this week. You know, like I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny. But I know what I know what I know. I know what I'm being shown. I know what I'm being led. I know what I'm downloading. And I know that I'm not the only one in the collective that feels this way, right? Like sometimes I'll go online and I'll just be watching my favorite reader or like a something will pop up on my YouTube and it'll be like confirmations of everything that I just downloaded, a confirmation of a reading that I did that nobody knew I did, right? That I'm like still editing and about to put out there. And then next thing you know, I have like two or three other psychics that are talking about the same exact information, right? I'll get contacted by like one of the archangels. Archangel Michael's energy was big recently. And I'm like, wow, I wonder what's going on with Archangel Michael. Like, what's up? And then all of a sudden it's like this reader, this reader, this reader, and everyone's like, Archangel Michael's energy is strong and we need to connect. And I'm like, okay, so you're reaching out to all of us. Like, you're kind of like the leader of the army of heaven. So what does that mean? Like, hands up, or what are we doing? You know, it was just like such an interesting energy, but it's coming in to support us with strength and courage as we embark upon these new timelines, right? As you're getting this new information, now you have the strength and courage to move forward with it, to say something about it, to stand in your truth, right? Stand in your power, to not back down, to know that that is your truth, right? And it may not resonate for them where they're at on their timeline, but that's your truth. And you can stand here and you can say that and you can speak, and you're allowing yourself to change, and you're moving forward with these shifts and these activations and these healings for your highest and greatest good. This is a really powerful time for you, divine masculine. All right. With Archangel Uriel, come into harmony and balance. Use power for peace. Use your powers for good. Look at that beautiful eagle in the background, right? So seeing things from a higher perspective. But use your power for good. Archangel Uriel, I believe, is the illuminator, right, of heaven, the light of God, I want to say. And so Archangel Uriel, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raziel, and Archangel Gabriel always come forward with me when I'm doing my readings, right, to help like give us higher knowledge. Archangel Uriel is the illumination, right, the illumination of God, the light of God. So really shines the light in the darkness, really shows you what is hidden and what needs to be seen, right, and like beautiful energy coming in. And a reminder to use your power for good, right? You're gonna have a lot coming towards you in the next few weeks. Um, some of it is gonna feel delicious, right? Some of it is gonna feel delicious and magical and transformative and powerful and almost like a waking dream. And some of it is gonna be challenging, right? And you're gonna have to stand your ground. You're gonna have to be grounded. You're gonna have to open your heart. You're gonna have to speak your truth, right? You're gonna have to be as luminous as powerful and sovereign and use your powers for good, right? We don't have all these beautiful talents and skills and gifts so that we can go around hurting people, right? Like that's not why we did all of this, right? That's not why we came at this time. We came to be the best and greatest versions of ourselves and also to help the collective to ascend during this time. And so if you're here, watching this and you're a divine masculine, you have such a glorious mission, but so much of it is wrapped up in just delicious, fun experiences. So allow yourself to really feel your way through this, and I know that's challenging for divine masculine. I was in masculine energy most of my life, and it's more about doing than trying to sit there and like having all these feelings and then acting. No, want you to feel it out, see it, and then move forward, right? So that the action that you're taking is much more aligned. The action that you're taking makes sense. The action that you're taking is speeding up your timelines instead of slowing it down because now you got to stop and course correct and fix all the shit that you broke. No, you're not breaking a whole bunch of shit because you're knowing, oh, it's this door, oh, it's this rock to step on, oh, it's that bridge I should walk on. Like, you're getting there a lot faster because you took a second to think about it, right? Instead of having to double back and then go back forward and fix some shit and apologize and wait for you don't have to do any other extra shit now. So stand in your power, live life with grace. I'm so excited for you. This is gonna be a really dope month for you. Like shout out to December. Love you, November. You brought us so many blessings and you still will as we're ending out this month, but God has hit the ground running for freaking December. So anyway, I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. And I will see you soon. Later.